California is forewarning the incoming Trump administration that it has power too, and it plans to use it. That is, if the new president tries to block the state's progress on key issues. KPBS's Amita Sharma joins us to talk about the state attorney general's plans to push back, punch back with litigation and legislation. Welcome, Amita.
Thank you, Maya.
So tell me about California versus Trump 1.0. How did the state fare in those clashes and what were they over?
Well, Maya, you probably recall some of this. During the first Trump administration from 2017 through 2020, California and the first Trump White House fought in court 120 times. And California Attorney General Rob Bonta says the state won a super majority of those cases on issues that will surprise no one who is paying attention and that are expected to only surface again as flashpoints.
We still want climate action. We still want reproductive freedom. We still want common sense gun safety. We still want civil rights for all of our communities. We still want health care that's high quality and accessible. We still want housing. That hasn't changed. We still support our immigrants and compassionate, humane treatment of them. That doesn't change with one election.
Okay, well, Amita, this begs the question, how much power does California really have to challenge the federal government? And doesn't federal law trump state law?
In some circumstances, yes. Bonta says the Constitution does not give one single person, in this case the President of the United States, all of the power. States also have vast power. California, as you know, has enshrined the right for a woman to have an abortion in its state constitution. Bonta says if Trump tries to institute a national abortion ban, the state is ready for a fight with, quote, strong defenses. Bonta says Trump also lacks the authority to trample on California's sanctuary law, which restricts the state's law enforcement agencies from enforcing federal immigration law. Bonta says future court fights with the federal government depend on Trump.
He has a very hard time resisting unlawful action. It's part of his brand. It's who he is. It's what he's done time and time again. So we are ready to bring lawsuits challenging his unlawful actions and seeking injunctions and court orders preventing him from continuing those unlawful actions, just as we did before. We also are preparing legislation to immunize California from any attempts by Trump to get in the way of our progress. We are going to continue moving forward. Progress will prevail if he tries to get in the way. We will push back, punch back, and fight back.
So what happens if these cases are appealed to the Supreme Court? Half of Americans view the High Court unfavorably.
I asked Attorney General Bonta just that, and he says he is clear-eyed on what could happen to California's cases.
We have to be realistic about the U.S. Supreme Court and what has happened to that court, and the fact that there are numerous appointees from the Trump administration 1.0 who raised their hand, took an oath, went before the Senate Judiciary Committee, committed to the precedent of Roe versus Wade, and committed to honoring it. And then the first time they had a chance to overrule it, they did.
And I should add, Maya, that California is not alone in its fight. It has allies in the western United States and across the country. And it has bookend support by attorneys general in New York and New Jersey. And one more point. California Governor Gavin Newsom also warned last week that if Trump attacks American values, the state will not stand idly by. So, Maya, it looks like California is ready to rumble with the federal government.
Ready to rumble. Well, thank you so much, Amita. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
And this story is part of our Public Matters project. It's a partnership with iNewsSource and Voice of San Diego. You can find more stories about politics and local government issues online at kpbs.org/publicmatters.